Good morning. My name is Callum Hyde. I'm the exec producer of Capital Breakfast. One of my favourite subjects is Arsenal Football Club, which you can boo me at, that's fine. The other passion of mine is Capital Breakfast. I've loved this show since I was young with Chris Tarrant, Johnny Vaughan, Dave and Lisa, and some guy called Roman Kemp. In April this year, we had someone join the chat. This guy here, Jordan North. It was a quiet affair, as you would know. It was amazing to bring him over to work alongside Sian Welby and Chris Stark, some fantastic broadcasters, and what a start we've had. You know, the first quarter, the first radar, it's gone up. The numbers are 261,000 new friends. It's a great start. We're going to push more because we're getting 2.8 million listeners a week. We want 3 minimum for the next one, and I'm sure James Rea, our director of broadcasting, who you'll go to his talk afterwards, he'll want that from me as well, so we'll make sure that happens. There's a lot of passion around this show. As you can tell just from me alone, we're so excited by what we're achieving and what we're creating here at Capital Breakfast. We've got an amazing team, both on air and off air, and yeah, there's so much more to come. It's not even been a year yet, and we've done some really, really amazing things. We want to celebrate a new dawn. We've got a new show and a new TV advert. I'm not sure if you've seen it. I don't know if it's been seen. It's only on TV, cinemas, BVOD, YouTube, socials, plus on buses and TfL digital escalators. If for some weird reason you haven't seen it, we're going to show it to you now. So, powers that be, if I say, Alexa, play TV ad, should happen.
Good morning, it's Capital Breakfast with Jordan, Chris and Sian. I was saying before, when I was a kid, I always assumed that all dogs were male and all cats were female.
Straight up, dude?
Hold on. What?
Do you know the difference now?
Well, yeah, because my neighbour's cat's called Kevin. Danny and Brighton, your turn.
I thought teachers lived at school.
Huh?
We're getting down to what the nation needs to hear today on Capital Breakfast.
Join the chat.
Play Capital. Play Capital.
Play Capital.
Capital.
I know what you're thinking. That can't be real. I completely tell that's exactly what he thinks. So that's our Jordan. That's just a flavour. We're offering celebrities, listeners and brands an opportunity to join the chat. And once again, I'll try this now, it might work. Alexa, play montage.
Capital Breakfast.
But hey, like live radio, we move for it, and we move over to these wonderful presenters. I know Tyler's introduced them, but we're going to give them one more because it says it here on my script. Recently back from her baby break, swapping early mornings with a baby for even earlier mornings, babysitting these two. Please get up for Sian Welby. He is the lean, mean barbecue grilling machine. He has 7 barbecues at home. It's Chris Stark, everybody.
Woo! Woo!
And finally, I have many, many stories about the guy in the middle because I went to university with him in Sunderland 15 years ago. Please give it up for our newest member of the team, Jordan North.
Yeah.
Cool. OK, we're going to start. Jordan, you joined in April.
Yep.
Quietly as well. What has been the last 6 months been like for you?
It's gone better than I could have imagined. I knew it was going to be fun and I was going to love it and I was going to be working with my 2 mates every day. But I didn't expect there to be such a buzz around. So at the start we did a big campaign and for our launch week we did loads of different features and fun ideas, working with loads of different brands like Greggs, which was great. We launched a sandwich called the Jordan, which we'll talk about later on. But the 6 months on, and we've all been saying there's a bit of a buzz about the show. The comments on social media, which usually aren't that nice, but people saying I listen every morning, and me and my daughter love going on the school run listening. And Sian and I work at ITV as well, and a lot of execs come up to us and say we listen, but you can actually tell they listen because they talk about things that morning. And it's just that's the thing that I'm so happy with. There's a bit of a buzz about the show. And it seems like everybody's talking about it. I've never really had that before in radio. So, yeah, that's what I'm proud of the most.
Amazing. Sian, you've been, out of actually the 4 of us, the longest on Capital Breakfast. What's different about this show to maybe previous shows that you've worked on Capital Breakfast?
I think what's so nice about this show now, and it's always supposed to have been like this, we've always wanted it to be like this, but it really is now. Come and join us, 3 mates. We're not some sort of clique, you're involved. We're down the pub, you're joining the table. Jordan's definitely brought that vibe from the start of the show, very welcoming, self-deprecating, and very relatable and normal. And this is the point, we sort of wanted to bridge that gap between having a crazy job and incredible access to celebs and movie stars and actors, and then on top of that, just talking about the mundane things in life and being real about, you know, treading in dog poo or forgetting your shirt and having to wear your mum's blouse or whatever. It's the kind of thing you know, Jordan would do. But that has definitely happened, and now we have this nice mix of north, south, and literally the Midlands. I'm like the mediator of the two. The divide. I'm the Watford Gap, essentially. And, but it's really nice because I feel like depending on where we've normally got a reference to somewhere local or somewhere we've been, and it does feel now that the whole country is getting involved rather than Capital, how it used to be such a London show. This has really helped broaden it and open it up to the whole UK. And we can feel that in who's messaging in, who's ringing. It, you know, it is Wales, it is Sunderland, the callers are coming in from everywhere. And although they were there, they're really here now.
Yeah, I think so. And I think you see it out and about or when you're DJing somewhere, a lot of people are talking about stuff that we're doing on the show and the features that we're doing. I should also say we've got a brilliant team behind this show that is really giving it, in all my time in radio, it feels like there is a real drive behind this show at the moment. And I'm really excited by that. And I think there's quite a few, fair to say, radio nerds in here today, like us, and we really care about radio. We really care about what we're doing. We're working hard. Trust me, that obviously, as we all know, there's far harder jobs than what we do. But we are giving this everything because we really believe in what we're doing. And it's not felt like that for me for quite a while at this level, and that's what excites me.
And we've got a bit of a corny saying that we've never really said outside of our team, but you're going to roll your eyes now because we say it every day. We always say from A-listers to air fryers. So we'll have like big A-listers on the show after 8 o'clock. But also, was it this week or last week when you did, it was yesterday, wasn't it?
What?
Your days roll into one when you're up at 4:30, but we don't like that. Where you did your link about the Hoover.
Oh yeah, last week.
Yeah, and we had so many messages about Sean's new Hoover. She's obsessed with this Hoover.
It was a shark, by the way, if anyone wants to know which one it was.
Shark here today? No? Okay, fine. Nice and
So many people DMing her over the weekend saying, what was the Hoover? I need a new one. Or I've got, and it's like that sort of thing that we're like tapping into.
Yeah.
And Chris, when you first joined, you know, you were buzzing. You were like, "What? We can talk to this brand. We can do this idea." One that we did recently was NatWest and the Olympics. We, you know, if you don't know, NatWest sponsored the Olympics, and we were the official audio partner of the Olympic Games, and we got full access to every Olympian who won a medal. So I was watching someone in a 100-metre race, and I was thinking, they don't realise tomorrow morning they're going to be talking to Jordan, Chris and Sian. So we had full access. Stuff like this and these brands, you know, coming from, you know, the other place, you know, it must be such an exciting challenge and prospect.
Yeah, I think so, because I think what it's allowed us to do, coming from the other place, as you call it,
I have to.
For Jordan and I think it's about applying a lot of the kind of creative ideas that we have, but being able to use brands to elevate those ideas. That's what, for me, has been another level about joining Capital, is we could have good ideas in the other place, for the other side. We could have great ideas there, and it feels the difference is when you partner those ideas with the right brand, it goes to another level. I think the Olympics was a really good example of it, because having NatWest, for NatWest, I'd like to think that we were a great link between their brand, the Olympics, and our listeners. And I think we do a very good job on that side, I'd like to think, from the radio side.
Yeah.
But what NatWest could do for us was put us bang in the middle of the Olympics. And everyone was talking about the Olympics. And look, we're not necessarily digging down on the sport, but those massive names that are having a moment and the sort of the feeling that is around the UK during the Olympics, we were able to reflect through the show because NatWest could put us in the middle. We could make all the creative stuff happen with athletes that were winning gold literally the night before.
Yeah.
And we could do creative things with them and bring them into the chat. But it was all thanks to NatWest, who could put us right in the middle. So I'd like to think we can do this more with the show, that we can link with the right brands to elevate the ideas that we do.
It's one of the first things we talked about when I was thinking about coming to Capital. Chris said to me, we went for a curry. I remember it, we'd had a few beers, and he said, the most exciting thing is we can have an idea and then you can go to a brand and just elevate it. and bring it up and make it sound even bigger and better. And I was like, that is, as someone who's creative, wants to do a breakfast show, that is really exciting. And that's what we all buzz off every day, isn't it?
Yeah, and what I would say, for, like, genuinely, like, to all of you guys, because it's so exciting for us to get to meet you and see you and, you know, hopefully chat to you. But, you know, we get so excited about the prospect of a brand, because what makes radio different to telly is it's so much quicker. For example, and we will, like, I'll let you say it, Jordan, but, like, when Jordan came and he had this idea to make the Jordan Bap, it was just the fact that he had all 3 sauces on a sausage sandwich, which was disgusting. Like, it was mayo, ketchup, and mustard. But the fact that we sort of mentioned Greggs, and then so quickly Greggs jumped on it, and before you knew it, by the end of the week, it wasn't just us saying, oh, imagine if we did it. We pulled it off on such a big scale that it was being rolled out in Greggs stores. I mean, when you think about how that escalated.
And it was great as well, because Greggs, like, half the people that tried it thought it was disgusting, but they didn't pretend it was amazing, so they let us, like, get all them on the radio.
Oh, that
But it was
poor
a real
guy.
talking point for a week, and it was a great thread for the show, and people were seeing our show out and about in Greggs, and I guess from Greg's sides, they were getting involved in the new show, and it was exciting. It was a point of entry. It's not just an advert on the show, which, you know, is fine. It was us applying our creativity in collaboration with Greg's.
Yeah.
And that is what is really exciting us about this new show at the moment.
Yeah, and it wasn't just London, and that's the other main thing as well. A lot of the times you do stuff for TV and radio, and it's always in, you know, Leicester Square, Piccadilly Circus. It went up and down the country, didn't it? Manchester, Leeds, Wales, and that's what made it so much better as a listen, because it made everyone feel involved and not just like some very media thing.
I think you know, people who love Capital and Capital Breakfast will know what it sounds like. But I think what's happened is we've brought a lot of people over, and people have realised, oh, I didn't realise that was Capital. You know, I know there's, you know, a lot of people from Radio 1 thought Capital will talk every 10 minutes for 10 seconds and play Sabrina Carpenter 4 times. Only one of those things is true. All right. But you know, this is such a show, and, like, you know, as someone, as I said at the very start of this chat, you know, I've loved this show from day one in terms of with Chris Tarrant, and it's just a pleasure to listen to every morning. And I know I'm biased as the exec of Capital, but at the same time, I urge people to listen. I also think, you know, there's brands in this room that think, maybe we're not Capital Breakfast, maybe we shouldn't be doing Capital Breakfast. I honestly think you come to us, we can make something special. You know, Greggs is an easy win for us, you know, and we did, you know, award nominated, by the way. I think we forgot to add that at the Media Week Awards, so I'll be getting my tuxedo out. Don't be silly, I don't have a tuxedo.
But
like,
just on that point, though, I think we'd also like to really get across that the way we are working, we really like to be quite involved in the creative side of this. It isn't just a case that a brand has to come to us with an idea. We'd love nothing more than to be able to put time in a diary and sit down and maybe apply what we use as our experience in the creativity and sort of the creative side of radio to hopefully apply in collaboration with the right brand. So if that is of interest, please do know that we love nothing more than that. And anything that can build this show up and drive it forward, we're huge fans of.
Definitely. And we say, come and watch the show. We
Come
met
hang
with
out.
brands, come and hang out with us for the last half hour of the show. I've done it with La Familiarana. Said it right.
Finally said it right, everyone.
They've come back to us because for 1 week they had sponsored, but I couldn't say it for the life of me on air.
Oh my
God! They found it really funny. And
I didn't.
Mate, this was.
I couldn't say La Familiarana, whatever.
There we are. We're back.
Just imagine, right? We feel a pressure to nail this film. We want to get it right for La Familiarana. And Jordan opened up the mic this one time. Bless him, I think it's all good, and hopefully we're fine. And Jordan opens up the mic and hit it with real confidence. He was like, and that's all thanks to my famina. And me and Sean were like,
Bananarama, essentially.
And then went into an Italian accent, and they loved it.
Oh, for too long as well. It was borderline inappropriate.
I'm looking at the brands in here. Morrison's, EE, I think we'll be fine. BA, Virgin, we can say all these names. So do not worry, we'll be able to say your brand names. Talking of these brands and the people in the room, let's ask you, that, you know, if you've got any questions. I know a guy that I want to get over at Capital. Tyler, where are you, mate? Are you going to...
Tyler.
Here he is, right at the front. Come on, there's a demo in front of the bosses here. Don't mess it up.
Says the Arsenal fan.
There we go.
Right. We've had a question come in. It says, my daughter has discovered your radio show. She is 15 and hard to please, and she loves it. Do you see part of your show do you see part of your role to bring in younger audiences to your radio show?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, we focus probably from 7:30 to around about 8:30, even 9 o'clock for a good hour and a half. That's when we say, right, we're going into kids getting in the car now, school run, family time. And that don't mean we change how we talk or anything like that. We just make sure content is basically aimed to a young audience. We get away with a bit more at 6 o'clock when we've got the truckers on, because they, we can. It's a bit of a wild hour, but yeah, definitely.
It's well worth tuning in from 6.
Yeah, the 6 o'clock hour is
It's
fantastic.
not bossy.
It's my favourite, I think.
It's my-
I would say on that though, Tyler, I wouldn't say there's necessarily, you know, we want to win the car, and we want everyone in that car to want to listen to this show and be entertaining for everyone in there. So yes, that is important, but we really feel we are an unashamedly mainstream show, and really want to appeal.
Cool. Amazing. That's a great answer. That's very good. How many barbecues?
I've actually got 6. Not
There's
quite
so
6,
much,
but
so much to
Spartans.
unpick. There's so much to unpick. There's another question here. Who is on your brand wish list to work with?
Who was here?
Go on, innit? Run up the
Virgin
list.
Atlantic, BA. No, genuinely, all of you in this room, because if we can sell Familiarana, we can, as in, we have so much fun. And you know, you might you listen to a podcast, no offence, lads, and they do adverts, and quite often they clang, don't they?
Yeah.
You're listening to your podcast and it'll go, have you ever tried flavoured water? I have. It's delicious. We just don't do it like that. And so if you really want us to bring it to life and make your brand sound like part of our real chat, like we can do so much more with it, can't we?
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any brand off the list, because we've worked with so many different ones, from really glossy to sort of, I don't know, it could be like from your Quick Fit to Qantas or whatever. It really is a broad thing, and we'll find a way of making it part
I
of
think
our world.
if you want to join us in sort of, maybe as we put it there, like winning the car and going for this school run, and I think that could apply to a lot of different brands, and we can help kind of work out what the creative can be. But if your aim sort of aligns with what you're hearing today, or you see it in one of us 3, because I like to think we do all represent something different, then we would love to start that conversation.
Yeah, and let's say to the BAs of Virgin, you know, we've done stuff with Jet2 and other airlines, and what's been really nice is when we can start branching out to family trips, family holidays. I think Capital at one point, and it goes back to the first question actually that Tyler said about the audience, it was skewed very young, but we do know that we need to get everyone on board and everyone to feel involved to listen, and being able to give away family trips has been some of the coolest stuff,
Amazing
isn't it?
moment,
And it's very rare we get tickets for 4 to anything. It's been very often like aimed at couples or 2, and we started to realise that actually the people in the car want the whole family to come.
Or a new Hoover for Sean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be
And
lovely.
I've just recently discovered Ocado, and it's changed my life. So genuinely more than happy to talk about that on air. It's like,
You've changed, man.
I am.
Ocado over
Still
here.
not a member at Soho House, but I am at Ocado. I have got an Ocado account.
There's another question here. What do you think of the new brand extensions?
Brand extension.
Oh,
But the
What
new station.
New station.
Oh.
Well, obviously, we love it, first off. There was a pause there.
12 brand extensions.
I've got to admit, I've been trying. I know I probably don't look it. I've been trying to get into running again and trying to get slightly fit. One day I'll look like you, Tyler. And Capital Anthems, I think, is a really good example of
great.
Like being able to stick with Capital, but just kind of almost know what you're going to get from that particular brand extension, if you're going to call it that. But in real terms, I think being able to tune into Capital Anthems and know you're just going to get a load of bangers. Not that we don't play them, of course, but we're here to do the chat.
Yeah.
And I particularly love that brand extension, I would say. If I'm going to give one a little tip.
Yeah, and I listened to Anthems. We launched it last week, and I had it on in the gym. I went for a run this weekend, and it sounded really good. But it makes me like really proud when you're at your mum's and she's going, Alexa, play Heart 80. Obviously can't understand her accent. She's like, no, Heart 80s. And it's I was like, oh, it's working.
Yeah, and I think what is exciting about it is maybe like before COVID and whatever, there was a whole thing about, is radio, is it too old school, and is it gonna be replaced by your Spotifys and whatever? And actually, we go into lockdown, people start realizing that they need a voice and a real human, not just an Alexa, Spotify or whatever. They don't just want a playlist, they want company as well. So to offer both, I think is a really smart idea that if you're going to go and look at a playlist, stay with us. But if you want to come back for the chat, we're here with you live. And I think that's nice that we can do both.
And like radio's still doing really well, especially in the UK and across Europe. Like there's still really strong figures and audiences. Like
bigger than telly now.
Bigger than telly. Like we always say,
listeners are massive.
We had a Hollywood A-lister on, and they were like, they'd rather do radio because we've got more listeners than TV, than the morning shows, and that's something that we're really proud of. People are still listening and tuning in.
Totally.
Sweet. Jordan, how do you...
Go on.
Oh, no.
God.
How do you pronounce pilau rice?
Who was listening this
Someone
morning?
was listening this morning. It's pilau, right? Oh, God, that was at 6 o'clock. Yeah. Is it pilau?
Pilau.
Pilau. Yeah, we have a rhyming game that we do that we'd love for you to sponsor.
Yeah, have we got Uncle Ben's in the room?
Yeah. And
more than welcome.
Yeah, we had to rhyme with the word cow today. And it was pilau.
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 Close.
Yep.
And last question, what's the best thing about working on The Breakfast Show?
Go on, go down the line, Chris. Go on.
I think every day I laugh really hard, and I think we're really lucky in that in this particular job to do that. And yeah, whilst we're getting deep and emotional, I'm just very proud of everyone that's sat here and the team that we have who aren't here on stage and do a fantastic job every day. I just love being part of something, and yeah, we really hope that you can come join us.
I have wanted to do a breakfast show since I was a little boy, and this breakfast show that we're doing right now, we're 6 months in, is exactly what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And that's why I've come over, and I can't tell you how happy I am at Global and here working with these guys every day. This is the breakfast show that I wanted to do, and it feels like people are talking about it and tuning in and really getting it. So that's what I'm buzzing about every day.
Yeah, and same. There's no like acting. It's not like some sort of script. It's the fact that we can come in every day, have genuine chats, and sometimes go, oh God, did we go too far? And that's a really nice feeling, that there's an energy that we can be a bit rebellious in radio, and we can give stuff a go, and we can try things, and we can ad-lib, and we can push the boat out. And it's something that I think I'm so pleased to have come into radio, starting in telly where everything was really rigid and strict. And actually at times, you know, TV can catch up a little bit with radio because we're doing things that are... They're that nice hybrid between a podcast where it's just, you know, endless chat. It's that tighter, quicker, exciting, spontaneous show with a mix of music, and then you're with your friends. And the whole of that combined is so exciting to work on.
Better than telly though, Sean. Yeah.
It's not like I still want TV jobs, please. But it's just, no, I do appreciate how ahead radio always is. I always think it's a little bit of a step ahead in terms of how it's done, how things evolve and move and change really quick, and we'll swap out an item on the day, in the moment, within the minute. Breaking news, we can react to it.
We can be very reactive.
And you're all more than welcome to join us. We're back tomorrow morning, and just tune in, and I think it'll just, within a couple of links, you'll get an idea of what the new show's about and how exciting it is.
Look, I won't lie, I think the breakfast, you know, the shows that are on BBC and Bauer, they're really strong. You know, there's some, like, I think, you know, with Tyler, Jordan and Perry, I think, are great guys. Greg James is obviously an OG in terms of this, you know, with the hits guys, you've got Radio 2. I said you guys.
Oh, right.
Well, yeah, I said you was the first
You've
one.
got name-checked first.
Okay, sorry. The cover breakfast show with Tyler West is quite good as well. Right, okay, but like, and look, it's tough out there, but I think what's so exciting for me is I've got the best three players here for the breakfast show, and they are just so incredible at what they do and what they bring. They're relatable, but they also can, you know, they can do the shiny and glossy. And like I said, we've got a great team at Global. They support us as well, and you know, we're very lucky to have our advertisement and the outdoor stuff. So we need to make it work. But genuinely, I'm so excited for what's to come over the next 6 months, year with these guys and this team. So yeah, we look forward to working with you.
Hey, Capital Breakfast, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers, mate.